This is the Jocko Underground podcast, number 134. Sitting here with Echo Charles. Let's get into some Q&A. What do we got? Out of the gate.
It's advice for the people.
Okay.
One of those people is me, so I gotta know this stuff too. You know, it helps.
We're all learning all the time. That's what we're doing.
Yes, sir. All right. Howdy, Jocko and Echo. I'm 29 years old, and I've been on the path for about 2 years now. I haven't been good with my consistency in the day-to-day, but I know this is the path I need to be on, and every day is a step forward. While I have been on the path, my wife and I have gotten more plugged in at our church, and I've now been on our church volunteer safety team for almost 2 years. We are members of the church who have been asked by leadership to carry firearms in an official capacity. Most of us have now been put through a course that makes us licensed security officers in the eyes of the great state of Texas. More recently, I was asked to take a bigger role in the team as an assistant leader, and I willingly stepped up as I have every bit of confidence this is where God is leading me to serve the Big C church. While I'm very happy here where I'm at, and I very much enjoy the men I serve with, the safety team leader, and I find it difficult to motivate everyone, as we're all volunteers at the end of the day. We are continually working on improving the team, but from my perspective, it seems that everyone wants to give their 0.02, like 2 cents, as to how things should be better, while not taking extreme ownership of their part. All this being said, I'm not perfect in my role, and I fall sometimes as I strive to be better. What advice would y'all give to motivate volunteers?
Right out, right on. And I think he also wanted to shout out to his brother, Josiah. Got him hooked on the podcast. Listen to episode 205, Dead Man Walking with Dynamite Dick Thompson. There you go. How do you do this? This is something look, I would love to tell you that this is you got volunteers, so there's some big different thing you have to do because they're only volunteers. Nope. Guess what you do? You start giving these people ownership. That's the best way to motivate people, is to give them ownership. Get them engaged. Oh, you need to train? You need to do some training? How do y'all think we should train this week? Right, Fred. Hey, Fred, we got to do training this week. You know, if you want, would you want to run training this week? You had a couple good ideas. You threw in your 2 cents yesterday. Let's get the whole dollar. Why don't you run this thing, Fred? Jim, do you want to do next week? Bill, you got the week after that? You see what I'm saying? Hey, we need a plan for this Sunday. We're doing a cookout afterwards, and we got to secure the courtyard. How do you guys think we should do it? Fred, do you want to run this? Bill, you want to run this? Jim, you want to run this? You see what I'm saying? You got to be careful because you want to be like Echo. There's a difference between Echo, do you want to run this? And Echo, you run this. You see what I'm saying? There's a huge difference between those two. It's not even a subtle distance. Give them the mission. Hey, we got to secure the courtyard this Sunday for the barbecue. That's the mission. How do you guys want to do it? Who wants to be lead, right? Who wants to be lead? Who wants to be lead today? I'll be following Echo. Hey, you want to take lead today? Well, what do you mean? I mean, you lead this. You run security. Well, aren't you the team leader? Yeah, but I mean, what if I'm not here? And I know you had some good ideas yesterday or last Sunday or when we did the Saturday night party. You did a great job. You had some suggestions. Why don't you run with those suggestions? I'll follow. You want someone to give you if someone wants to give you their 2 cents, get their whole dollar, right? Let them run with it. Now, what do you got to watch out for? Probably boiling up in your head right now as I'm saying this is your ego. Your ego is probably saying, I've been selected to run this thing, and I'm the one that's in charge, and I have the best plan because I've been doing this. All those things, that's just your ego, your evil ego. Don't let your ego do that. If they come up with a minimally viable plan, that's all we're looking for. Because guess what? When we secure the courtyard for the barbecue, does it really matter if we put one guy on the east side and 2 guys on the west side, or 2 guys on the east side and 1 guy on the west side? Does it really matter? Well, it does, because the most likely route of enemy attack is from the west. Okay, cool. Well, what are your chances that you're 100% right on that? The chances that you're 100% right on seeing the future is 0. So really, you're arguing about something for no reason. It's just your ego arguing. So the chances are when you say, hey, Fred, can you come up with a plan to secure the courtyard for the barbecue? He goes, cool. And he comes up with a plan that's going to be just fine. It's going to be just fine. It's going to be a minimally viable plan, maybe a little worse than yours, maybe a little better than yours. But as long as there are no glaring tactical errors that put people's lives at risk, if he's like, hey, we should clear and safe our weapons towards the propane tanks on the barbecues. Is that a good idea? No, that's not a good idea. We're not going to do that. If he says, we're going to, set up all of us congregated in one small area. That doesn't make any sense. But guess what? Since you're all working together, chances are they're going to be able to figure out a minimally viable plan. By the way, Echo's 11-year-old daughter could figure out a minimally viable plan on how to secure a courtyard. I guarantee she could come up with a decent plan. No offense to your daughter, Echo Charles. But she has no tactical experience.
It's a compliment.
Right? She could come up with a minimally viable plan. She'd be like, okay, well, here's the road. Here's the door. We need someone at the door. We need someone near the road. And there's a back exit. We should put someone there. And I guess since the line is out front to get in, we'd put one more person out there. Yep, she did it. She did it. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, but you know what? There's actually a higher threat zone in the yeah.
Yep.
Fire her. You know what? I put trust in you to do this, and you didn't do it right. I'm taking back control. You're an idiot for doing that. So don't argue over 6 in one or half dozen the other. It doesn't matter. Don't argue about those things. What you do is you give them ownership. And like I said, by the way, to everyone out there, this isn't just with volunteers. This is with all humans. All humans. No, it is with most humans. Some humans just want to be told what to do, and they're good with it. There's a decent amount of people that are like that. They're like, oh, hey, tell me what to do, boss. Hey, I need you to stand at the door and, put people through the metal detector. Okay, cool, got it. That's fine. People are like that. Some people want to, many people want to have some kind of control over their own destiny. Give it to them. Give it to them. And this is from kids to athletes on teams, to frontline contributors in companies, to managers in companies, to the C-suite executives. People want to have some control over what's happening. Give it to them. Give them ownership. Give them responsibility. Give them autonomy and authority. That is a little excerpt of what we are doing on the Jocko Underground podcast. So if you want to continue to listen, go to jockounderground.com and subscribe. And we're doing this to mitigate our reliance on external platforms so we are not subject to their control. And we're doing it so we can give you more control, more interaction, more direct connections, better communications with us, strengthen this legion of troopers that are in the game with us. So thank you. It's jockounderground.com. It costs $8.18 a month. And if you can't afford to support us, we can still support you. Just email assistance@jockounderground.com and we'll get you taken care of. Until then, we will see you mobilized underground.